Hey everyone, it's Jordan. So for this module, for our open educational resources, I'll be analyzing this one here on severe weather, specifically tornadoes, hurricanes, and thunderstorms. And that's what my online instruction unit is mainly about, severe weather, and specifically my direct teaching. We do focus on these three pieces: tornadoes, hurricanes, and thunderstorms. Other pieces of my unit actually do allow the students to do some exploring and some discovery with some different types of severe weather and also some natural disasters. But this is the main three that my direct instruction will focus on. So first of all, the licensing is the first one here. So you are allowed to use this resource however you would like. You just have to cite the source. And again, I did find this just by searching the OERcommons.org. So a little bit about this resource. So it was designed for a fourth grade classroom. I'm actually going to use it for my online instruction unit. It's more designed towards a fifth grade classroom. But, either way, it's intermediate elementary school is the appropriateness of this resource. And I think it does a really good job at reaching the level of students, kind of in that fourth to fifth grade range. So a couple of things. So each of the pages here has a short video. Just kind of talking about, a little about the severe weather, so the tornado and then the thunderstorm and then the hurricane as well. Just kind of an introduction for the students. These videos are pretty neat because, again, they're not too long, so they're only about 3 to 5 minutes, so it'll definitely hold the students' interest. It doesn't go on and on. And also, they go into a good depth, but not too much depth, so it's not going to be over the student's head, again, because the age group that this will be for is, it's best appropriate for like 9, 10, or maybe 11-year-olds. Another thing that's cool about this resource is down at the bottom, they have some other interactive type things the students can use. So if I go to this link and go to this one, and as I was doing some exploring, one thing I did see, which I'll show you here, when you go to open this link, you can't reach the site. So again, that's one thing, we want to make sure that we are mindful of when we're creating these online units, is that all of the links work. So unfortunately, this one didn't. But again, I don't want that to take away from this resource because it is a really neat resource. So just going through some things, specifically with tornadoes, it talks about Tornado Alley, and the kids can, again, zoom in on this picture and see exactly where in the United States Tornado Alley is. And, just a couple other things here. It shows the students the tornado scale. So again, we'll talk about in my unit, tornadoes are all about wind speed, and the increase in the wind speed, changes the tornado on the scale, so the students will have a chance to see that. Also, I thought this piece was cool. So oftentimes, again, students will probably be watching, weather and the news and things like that at home with their parents. And they might see, pieces like this of the radar pop up on the screen. So this kind of gives them a general idea of, what they're looking at, in terms of watches and warnings, and, what that means to them specifically and what action they need to take. So that piece was really cool. So it goes on, and again, we get to hurricanes, the same thing, a nice introductory video here, just introducing students to hurricanes, and then again, another resource they're able to use. So this one is neat because it gives some really good pictures just to kind of helping the students just understand the destruction that hurricanes, can cause, especially if I have students that have never really experienced a hurricane before. So these pictures, I think, do a really good job of just showing exactly what could potentially happen. And also this picture as well is really neat because, again, if students are at home watching the news, watching the weather, they might see, radar and Doppler radar and things like that, photos like this, just showing, a hurricane from a bird's eye view so they can kind of gain a better idea of what they're looking at. This page is also neat because it gives some good vocabulary here. So again, specifically with hurricanes, one of the big things I want my students to understand and learn is about the eye of the hurricane, just kind of actually being, a very calm place. So that was very age appropriate, I think, for this resource. Then the final focus here is thunderstorms. Again, just a video here talking a little bit about that. And as I mentioned, I think, these are important as well because a lot of the times with online units, students will be doing this at home and sometimes might not have a ton of support depending on their situation. So, short videos here to capture their attention just for a brief period, I think are really beneficial to help gain and aid the students in their learning. This last page was cool too. So first of all, this video here I've actually already used in my online unit, but this is a nice part of this resource because, again, it does a review and a recap here with this one. So this video just talks about the specific types of severe weather, thunderstorms, hurricanes, and tornadoes, but also goes into a couple of other ones as well. And like I said, in my unit, my students will have a chance to do some exploration and some discovery of some different types of severe weather besides the ones that we focus on. And then also gives a nice recap, and this is another piece I plan on using in my instructional unit. So this resource then put together just some very easy notes for the students to follow, just to kind of use as a recap. So again, tornadoes, hurricanes, and thunderstorms, it just gives a brief, what is it, the effects and the damage that these storms can have, and then some safety tips and techniques, which is again another focus that my students are going to have as they complete my online instructional unit. They'll have to focus on the safety aspect and things that they can do at their house, severe weather safety kit they can put together that they might potentially need to use. So again, just trying to take as much of this as we can and apply it directly to the life of our students, even if they haven't experienced a specific storm like that. So that was really neat to see. So again, overall, I thought this resource did a really good job. I thought it was age appropriate for the groups of students that I'll be teaching. Again, just the one drawback that I already talked about was the one link didn't work. But other than that, I thought this resource was really good. So everything that I've been showing you has been in a teacher view, but this resource is also neat because it has the student view as well. So I'll show you that quickly as I wrap up. So if you click on this, it does open it into a new window. And again, it'll just show you exactly what the students are seeing, which again, for us as educators, especially from distance learning, I think that's really important that we also are seeing exactly what our students are seeing. So if there is any tech issues or things that we need to troubleshoot, we can hopefully, see what they see and then hopefully be able to walk them through it if we're able to support them with that. So overall, this module was great. It really opened me up to OERs because before this, I had never done really much with them. I hadn't really even heard of them a whole lot. But it was really cool just exploring and just seeing the different options that are out there and the different options that we're able to use to best support our instructional unit.